Hey, everybody. It is Sunday, October 8th, 2023, and you are listening to episode 30 of Black Box Signal. You know what that means.
Woo.
It's all downhill from here.
Oh,
Um,
I was like, what do you mean by what? Oh, okay, I get it. I get it.
um, I am your host, as always, Chase Johnson. Thank you for having me back for this episode. Really appreciate it. And as always, joined by my co-host, Dustin Miller. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going great. Thank you for having me back. Thank you to myself for showing up as well. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you showed up.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm doing. Actually, no, I
No,
don't
I was
know.
just. I mean, gonna kill it here. I was feeding off of your joke about thank you for having you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, I was gonna try to do this cool thing about like having a fake background, but I feel like it's making me framey. See that?
A little bit, or a little stuttery.
Yeah, just a lot.
Oh Jesus.
Oh
Okay.
God. Oh God. I killed everything.
You
it'll catch
jinxed
up
it.
at me.
You said 30, and it's all downhill. And now look at you.
Yep, and now I'm lower than 30 frames a second.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
so what have you been up to outside of games this week?
Mostly just planning my wedding.
Yeah.
That is taking up like all of my time doing that. Uh, got a new kitty, so I've been doing a lot of stuff with her and getting her acclimated. Um, and then just work.
Yeah.
I have been getting a little bit more. I'm trying my best not to do it, but I've been getting more One Piece trading cards. I have. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull them up. To anyone who watches who likes to play One Piece trading card, I got one, two,
Oh geez.
3.
He's all the way in, folks.
Oh no, I'm not done. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 playable decks. I
Jesus.
sat down. Yeah, I sat down and I went through all my cards and I realized it's like, oh, these ones can go together pretty well. Let's see if I can build a deck with these. And then as I started going, I was like, oh no, I could definitely build a deck. I have enough cards. I have the leader cards for these too. And so I just started building decks. And then in like another drawer, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have like 5 decks in the making. I just need like leader cards and like other cards to add to it. But yeah, we are full bore into this, and I'm trying to find people to play with. There was a tournament yesterday.
There was?
There was a there was a tournament in like another town near us, and I wanted to go do it, but I decided not.
Hey, I think I kind of fixed my camera. There's a little bit of a delay, but it'll catch up.
Oh, it's not too
um,
bad.
all right. Yeah, I had the week off of work, cause uh unfortunately my grandmother passed away. So I got my little bereavement week. She lives in Texas or lived in Texas, so my mom had to go down there and I had to kind of stick around because my dad just had like major arm surgery.
Hmm.
He tore his bicep, so he had to have
Damn.
that reattached and just needed me to kind of be around to kind of like mow the lawn, do like kind of stuff to kind of help out. So that was
You
why I
gotta
was
tell him
off
to stop.
most of.
You gotta tell him to stop flexing for the lady. He doesn't.
I know, like he was like, I'm just like, um, I was just like lifting a board and it was kind of like fused to the ground after like a rain, and I just flexed and then I heard a pop and he thought it was
Oh,
like his bone, but then he got it x-rayed and was like, oh no, it wasn't his bone, it was his actual muscle
yikes!
tearing. So
Yikes!
yeah.
Have you ever like watched those YouTube videos of like bodybuilders and like weightlifters who are just like in the middle of doing it, and then they're just muscle tears like mid flex?
No, but being a pro wrestling fan, I have witnessed moments where wrestlers have like torn stuff in the
Yeah.
ring.
Yeah.
Uh,
It is hard to
there's a
watch. It is hard to look
very there's a very funny story of Vince McMahon uh storming down to the ring pissed because of how a match ended.
at. Mhm.
And then as soon as he gets in the ring, his quad tears. Both of them.
Dude, I remember that. Oh, well, I didn't, like, watch it, but I've seen, like, YouTube clips of it, and I laugh every time I see it
Right,
because
because
it's
like
so funny.
he goes to get up and he's just like
And
uh
it is, like, it is so much, like, his hubris of, like, "I'm gonna be all pissy," and then hops into the rink and just tears both calves.
yeah, the wrestler Edge tells a funny story about that because he's like, here's this pissed off 65, 70-year-old man just sitting in the ring, yelling at the refs and yelling at people. Like, why is he sitting? And then I find out later he tore his fucking quads, both of them. He's trying to slide into the ring. Um, yeah,
Ooh, something's happening.
I know. Yeah. Well, we're gonna get into your game first, so it'll give me a chance to
Okay,
mess with it. So why don't we just go ahead and get into games?
sure.
All right. So
So,
you've been playing more of Sea of Stars.
yeah, and I still haven't streamed it, and I feel horrible for it. But I've been playing a lot more of it. Um, it's honestly it's quickly becoming my favorite game. Some things I'm not like of this year. Some things I keep forgetting to like mention is so it is an RPG, and I know you're like you've done a crap ton of RPGs in the past, but something I didn't really like pay attention to until just this week is the leveling. Your XP pool is party wide, regardless of who is in your party lead. So you can only have 3 on your team at a time, but then you have like 5 party members. Regardless of who's fighting, you get your XP just levels everyone up at the same. And it makes it so much more enjoyable to just sit back and enjoy the game instead of having those moments where you have to sit there and grind out characters to get them stronger. Um Couple other things, and I just had it and then lost it. Um, oh, there's a swapping mechanic that I haven't like really paid attention to because I only had usually like 3 characters at a time, and that's your max party. But
Right.
now I have 5 characters on my crew. Um, and there's a swapping mechanic that like when you're fighting, you can swap in and out characters like mid battle, but it doesn't cost a turn. You can swap them in and then do an attack with,
Oh, that's sweet.
or because you also get like combo attacks with some of your like with different crewmates. If you do a combo attack with someone who is not on the field at the time, they just swap them in for one of your other characters. You just choose to swap them. And
Nice.
so like it is I honestly am getting to the point where I need to start recommending this game to people because it's a lot of fun. It's very well written, very well done. I just passed Act 2, and I was just telling you before the stream that I was playing it last night, and at the end of the Act 2, there's actually, like, a pretty decently big, boss fight, and then, like, an hour's worth of dialogue. Somewhat, I'm over exaggerating, but
Right.
there's a shit ton of dialogue. My game crashed, and I hadn't saved it, so I had to redo all of that.
Of
But
course.
yeah, it's honestly, like, super fun. It is $35, if you just wanna buy the game, so it's very cheap for an actually, like, pretty big sized game. Um, and if you have Xbox Game Pass, and I think if it's on the PlayStation Plus thingy too, it's on there to just download and play. And I
Nice.
think everyone should take a second to just download and have some fun with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have been messing with my camera. Um, I might just leave it. Most people listen to this audio anyway, so
Mhm.
um, let me just try one more thing here. I could talk while I do this though. I've been playing more Final Fantasy 1. I got in a couple streams of that this week. I'm maybe I got to the class level up, so all my classes have leveled up now.
Okay,
And then
okay.
um Yeah, so I wanna say I'm, like, 2/3 through the game, if not more. Um,
All right.
so I should be finishing it up probably next week. Um,
I'm trying to remember when I played it, and I don't think there's much left after the class level.
right. Um, I yeah, and I'm hoping when I finish it up, I'll be able to then play jump into Final Fantasy 2. Um, I'm still playing Persona 5, of course, because
Mhm.
I'm just playing that as like my fun off-stream game. Um, and then the big thing is I've still been playing more Mortal Kombat 1, or I should say me and my wife have both been playing Mortal Kombat 1. Um, so
Has she
we
caught up?
yes, we are completely
Mhm.
caught up on the story.
Okay, cool.
That is why we I haven't finished it yet.
Mhm.
I was originally planning on finishing it this week. But uh shit happens, obviously, with the family
Yeah.
and all that stuff. It kind of slowed things up. Um, but uh we kind of hit the final act twist, finding out
Ooh.
who the person pulling the strings was.
Ooh.
Um, and I'm not going to lie, I was a
Are
little
you want do you
disappointed.
spoil it.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert,
it's a
but
spoiler.
let's
Yeah.
get into it.
Um, so how Mortal Kombat 11 ends
Mhm.
is it ends with Liu Kang defeating Kronika, who was the Titan, the Keeper of Time.
Mhm.
And then it comes down to they need to choose a new Keeper of Time, and the final fight comes down between Liu Kang and Shang Tsung, of course.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
then basically how it's explained is Liu Kang beats Shang Tsung, becomes a new Keeper of Time, um, creates a new universe, and then gives his power up because he saw how it drove Kronika mad because she was obsessed with having perfect balance between good and evil. And whenever a timeline would stray too far in a direction, she would destroy that universe and start over.
Okay.
So he gave that up so he could let things kind of play out how they're allegedly supposed to. Well, then you find out that the timeline actually split when he beat Shang Tsung. In
Mm.
one timeline, Liu Kang won. In one timeline, Shang Tsung won. So the person pulling the strings the whole time was a version of Shang Tsung that's not from your timeline that you created.
Okay,
So
that's still kinda cool.
it's kind of cool, but as somebody who was like, they were kept touting that this is being like a new Mortal Kombat story, it was a little
Yeah,
disappointing to be like, and we're going back to Shang Tsung being the main big bad. So in Shang Tsung's timeline, he didn't give up his power and knew about the other timeline, which Liu Kang did not know about the other timeline because he gave up his power.
right.
Um, and Shang Tsung has basically trained his whole timeline the whole time to eventually be strong enough to wipe out that timeline completely and merge it with his. That is his whole master
Okay.
plan. So even the bad guys, quote unquote bad guys, they are now like they're joining your side because they are being used. They were used as pawns for the
Mhm.
other Shang Tsung. They call him Titan Shang Tsung in this because when you become that god, you become a Titan. Um,
Right.
so it's Titan Shang Tsung, and now you've got the Shang Tsung from your timeline who's joining up with Liu Kang because he's like, well, I don't want to be wiped out. Like nobody wants to be killed, even the bad guys. So everybody's trying to, flip everything now. So the last chapter I left off of, I'm taking over as Shang Tsung, the
Mhm.
normal version. Um,
Okay.
so um, so yeah, that's
Honestly,
that's my only complaint. It's a little disappointing that it's kind of treading the same ground a
I
little bit.
kinda like it. I kinda like it.
I like it because I love
It sounds really
timeline
cool.
shenanigans, but
Right.
yeah, I
No,
we'll have to see how they stick the landing because I still have 2 chapters left.
right,
So
right. I mean, it could easily fizzle out and it just becomes garbage, but
right, right.
All right.
Um,
Hopefully you finish it this week and you can report back.
yeah, for sure. That's what I'm hoping for too. Um, and yeah, so and then I played Shawna actually played the tower modes, which are more like the traditional modes.
Mhm.
Um, and she's been playing those. You unlock like a different story beat for each one. Um,
Okay.
she beat it with Melina and Smoke. Those are the two that she's played as. Which is funny. She's usually a Sindel main, but they've changed up
Yeah, I was gonna
Sindel so
say,
much that she's like
it's
slower in this one. She's
oof.
stronger, so her hits do more damage, but she's
Mhm.
a lot slower. So, um, yeah. And then I've been
Okay.
maining as mostly Lee May. Lee May is still like I think I said that on last week's podcast, but I'm
Yeah.
still maining as Lee May. Lee May is still a lot of fun. Um, Probably still my favorite character. Um,
Awesome.
yeah. So hopefully I'll uh report back next week. I'm just shutting the camera off because it's just
Oh, okay,
glitchy.
okay.
I was like, we'll just do this. Zach did it for one episode where he didn't want to be seen, so he was just like this. So we're gonna roll with this like this week. Um,
Okay.
um, but yeah, um, that was kind of all I had for games though. Kind of like a short, quick, just update on everything. And then um, you know, next 2 weeks we'll be playing some new games, but we won't be reporting on those until you get back from your wedding, really. Um,
Right.
I might
Or
talk a
yeah.
little bit about Super Mario Wonder, but
Okay.
Spider-Man, I know we'll be waiting to hear from you for that.
I
Um,
still haven't like pre-ordered it or bought it or anything.
I know you're gonna though.
Yeah, yeah, I'm probably going to.
Like
Actually, I might go do it today.
but with that, would you like to just go ahead and get into the news?
Let's get into the news.
So, you know what really sucks about my camera acting up right now? Let's turn it back on, see if it works. I had this planned. Let me see if it'll let me do it just for a second.
Oh, that would have been cool to have.
But it's glitchy
Oh, it's
right now.
animated
It
too.
is, yeah,
Damn.
yeah. And it's yeah. I just put the lens cap back on because my camera is just it's not working today.
Damn.
I don't know what's going on. I've got too much shit plugged into this laptop. That's what it comes down to. Um, but so I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the news stories this week are kind of bummers. Like a lot of them. So
Mhm.
just forewarning. This first one comes actually from Twitter. It comes from Steven Totillo's Twitter account. Which, if you don't know who Steven Totillo is, he is the um he covers video games for Axios. He does the Axios gaming newsletter.
Okay.
Um, and basically, I'm just gonna read this tweet exactly. Activision Blizzard was hit with another National Relations Board complaint by the Communication Workers of America unions this week. Allegations are just that, no investigation yet, and some of these have gone nowhere and have been closed. Um, I have the screenshot here. Maybe I'll retweet it on the Black Box signal because it's a signal Twitter because it literally is just like a screenshot of the website. Um,
Mhm.
but I mean, we were kind of talking about how like over the whole allegation or during the whole merger that this was kind of covering up a lot of those a lot of these stories have kind of fallen by the wayside about, Activision's uh workplace mismanagement
Yeah.
and yada yada yada, but I figured this was a chance to kind of get back into it. But yeah, they had a complaint filed on the 3rd and two on the 4th. Um
Damn.
of this month. Um I'll let you kick it off. What do you think?
I mean, one super fucking unfortunate. Like I would say arguably they in the past they had one of the biggest um biggest complaints like this ever. Um with like all those sexual misconduct allegations and shit like that. But I would love to say that I was hopeful that it would never happen again. But at the same time, I'm not. I'm really not surprised.
Right. Yeah. Um, I'm not surprised either. This is kind of like what got them in hot water before the acquisition talk started. Um,
Hmm.
so I it doesn't really surprise me one bit. Um,
No,
and I just hope, maybe under new management, maybe it is Microsoft we're talking about that's going to be managing them. But
I don't.
maybe they could see some improvement. Um,
Something I just thought of, and we're gonna go off just a little bit. Activision Blizzard is not owned, almost owned by Microsoft,
Pretty
but it's
much,
gonna
it
happen.
might as well be at
It's
this
gonna
point. Every major sticking point is kind of
happen.
they've cleared everything at this point.
Do you think Microsoft is going to do anything with World of Warcraft?
I don't know personally. This is just me because I'm a long time old school Blizzard head. I would love to
Same,
see a Warcraft, a proper Warcraft, not World of
like a
Warcraft,
revival.
like Warcraft, like a Warcraft 4, or
Okay,
because I loved that RTS.
I've never
But
been an RTS.
yeah, see, I loved Warcraft, loved StarCraft. I like World of Warcraft. Don't get me wrong. But it made me once I got over it, I should say. I really wanted to play more Warcraft, original
I get it.
Warcraft.
I get it.
Um, uh, and StarCraft. Oh, I love StarCraft so much. Um, I would love to see them do that. I would love to see them. I don't know, do more with
I
Tony
want to
Hawk since Tony Hawk got shelved.
maybe just do more of anything.
Right,
Maybe do something new or better. Like
Spyro.
stop.
Uh,
Byron?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Listen, okay, I gotta bitch a little bit about it. You know how this past month was like Spyro month?
Right.
They were celebrating Spyro, and I was expecting some type of announcement. We never got one.
No, we didn't.
No. And I'm so irritated. I'm so irritated that they didn't be like, "Hey, guess what? Spyro 4."
Right.
Didn't happen.
Nope. Nothing. Not even a remaster. Like
No.
nothing. A whole lot of nothing.
Mm,
Um, yeah, super disappointing. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of what other things Activision owns. Um,
I honestly, I think the two I would want them to touch and get out there more is Tony Hawk and um Spyro. The downside is that Tony Hawk came out and said there was already talks and movements for a a remaster of 3 and 4 after 1
nice.
and 2 came out. Um
Right. I was
but
hoping that they would get to hey, my camera works now. I was
woo,
hoping I could get to Underground. Underground was my favorite.
see the downside is he didn't want to say the number. But when they made the HD remakes, they basically gave him a check and said, "Here's the check for the 2 game." And he said there was a lot of zeros on it. And then when 1 and 2 came out, they're like, "Yeah, this went over well." And then they immediately went to Tony Hawk and said, "We're not doing 3 or 4. We want to, but we're not do it. It's too much money."
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, it's so shitty. It's so shitty.
Yeah. Um, next one comes from Eurogamer. Kind of going off of we had a lot of Epic. The big story last week was the Epic layoffs.
Yep.
Um, but this one comes from Eurogamer. Steam Spy creator, I believe his name is Sergey Galyonkin. I'm gonna butcher that name. I even spelt it wrong in our note. Uh, is leaving Epic Games after 8 years. And he was the director of publishing strategy. And he says he is not a good fit for the new version of Epic. Um,
Okay. I mean, not a good fit for Fortnite, it sounds like.
or maybe he didn't want to be a part of these layoffs. Maybe he
Ooh.
was disagreeing with them. I'm starting to get some rumblings that I'm seeing, just basically what I've been seeing on Twitter.
Mhm.
There's been a lot of rumblings of like there's a lot of higher ups that are really unhappy with how this whole thing shook out. And
Yeah.
that's bad when even your higher ups are saying this wasn't cool how this was handled.
Mhm.
So now he's leaving because he doesn't want to be
Damn.
a part of this new epic. And I'm gonna roll in this next story with it. And probably go on a rant.
Can I just say before we go off on you guys,
Yes.
I'm including the next guy after. Um, this guy and the CEO of the following news article that we got, um, they are probably two of the m- two of the CEOs I hate the most.
Yeah.
These guys fucking suck. But yeah,
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Go off.
Um, Next one is from Polygon.
Hmm.
And the title of this article: Epic only realized that it had a financial problem that led to layoffs 10 weeks ago. I'm gonna call bullshit.
Yep.
Because the quote here from Team Sweeney or Tim Sweeney, who is notorious for foot and mouth saying really shitty
Mm-hmm.
things, yada yada yada. Let me see if I can find this. In his email to staff explaining the layoffs, Sweeney had confessed that Epic had been spending way more money than we earned investing in the next evolution of Epic and growing Fortnite as a metaverse-inspired ecosystem for creators. I had long been optimistic that we could power through this transition without layoffs, but in retrospect, I see that this was unrealistic. How the fuck was that 870 people's problem that you were spending too much money?
Yeah,
I'm confused.
that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
sounds like a something you should have done in the calculations before starting all of this when you set out your roadmap for it.
Or maybe I don't know, maybe you shouldn't have been too busy taking Apple and Google to fucking court over fucking what was it, their licensing fees to put stuff on their store. Hey, guess
Yeah.
what, assholes? Everybody pays a licensing fee to be on the Google Play Store and to be on
Yeah.
the Apple Store. You're the
Well, I
only
will
ones
say that
raising a stink
there
about it.
was one small issue that I will give him for Apple, and that was Apple was charging more for the I think it was more for the V-Bucks. There's something fucky going with the V-Bucks, but yeah.
Yes, but at the same time, everybody else, like if you buy V-Bucks on the Xbox platform, Xbox gets a cut.
Yeah.
If you buy Apple was just trying to get theirs, and so was Google. And you were
Mhm.
basically fighting them saying, nah, spending all these billions and millions of dollars in court. How the fuck is that the 870 people's problem? Like,
Yeah.
like this was all you, bro, and you had everybody else fucking like pay for. Oh, this fucking pisses me off. Like this is like, and if anybody that is like explaining it, I'm just gonna be fucking blunt here. Anybody that is like excusing this or thinks this is okay, you're a fucking idiot. Like you're
Mm-mm.
fucking stupid.
Mm-mm.
Like you don't have any shred of human decency. That 800 almost 900 people just lost their fucking jobs because somebody couldn't balance the checkbook at the top right, and was
Here's an
spending more than they
idea.
earned.
Here's an idea. I want to look up how much does Tim Sweeney
Yeah,
make in a year?
that was the other thing I was gonna make. He couldn't even take a fucking pay cut. Nothing.
You ready for this? You're gonna be so angry.
Oh, I'm sure.
This is as of May 2022. He's probably made shit tons of more money since then. Personal life, Sweeney, his net worth is estimated between 7.6 and 9.6 billion
Yep.
dollars.
hmm hmm I want to know what his average pay is because it just brings me back to like the days of like Satoru Iwata, God rest his soul, when he took a 50% pay cut instead of laying people off.
Yeah,
You couldn't even take a little pay cut. Like I could maybe.
dude.
I mean, we would still be
How
talking shit about you if you laid people off and took a pay cut, but we'd be talking maybe less shit about you if you took a pay cut and still laid people off. You didn't even take a fucking
honestly
pay cut.
we wouldn't be talking that much. We'd probably be praising you for taking a pay cut and keeping all those people.
Yeah,
Like $9.6 billion dollars on the high end as of May 20 like 2022.
which means
You do
probably his yearly salary is at least six figures. Like,
like I don't I just want to
mm-hmm,
talking about six figures. Yearly salary six figures.
at least.
I just want to say what you and I roughly live off about 40K a year.
Yeah, just shy, but yeah.
That is the smallest of water droplets in the ocean that is $9.6 billion.
You wouldn't even feel that if
Here,
you
hold
made
up. Let me
9.6.
get my calculator out. All right. Not
We're doing some
9.6. How many zeros is that?
uh
9, 6.
good question.
That's
I'm
1,000.
terrible at math.
That's 100. That's million. I got it.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know how the fuck to do this. Divide divided by, we'll do 40K.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nope, that doesn't come out right. I don't know what it is, but still, that is minuscule. That is
Yeah.
minuscule compared to everyone else.
Yeah. Long story short, fuck the fuck off. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I forgot to look up this story. I keep doing that. I'll skip over news story. But I'll get it here. Twitch has basically laid off more employees for the second time this year.
Mm.
Um
I gotta say, the CEO of Twitch, this dude is a fucking dumbass. I know we're streaming on Twitch, and I know
no, it's fine.
I am, but like this man,
I am a Twitch affiliate and I talk shit about Twitch on probably every stream. Um
yeah. I mean,
um
I'm a Twitch affiliate too, and I will actively say like this guy is running Twitch until the
Yep, it says today's cuts were reported by today off stream by Zach Busey or Bussy, who said the cuts were significantly smaller than the March round, which included more than 400 people. So it's less. And the March cuts came as a part from the parent company, Amazon, to reduce payroll by 9,000 employees. So I can at least say that you can blame Amazon for the last round of layoffs. This round of layoffs seems like it's from Twitch, like directly from Twitch proper. Um, and again, this comes from gamesindustry.biz. Um, yeah, I mean, I will say that I have heard that this new guy that has taken over Twitch is better than the last few. Like, he seems like he cares a little bit more about the platform than the
Mm.
last guy who was just trying to get blood from a stone. But still, uh,
Which one?
again,
Emmett Shear or Dan Clancy?
I don't know who the new guy is. Um, I can't remember his
Emmett
name though.
Shear.
Emmett
Emmett
Shear. Okay.
Shear's.
Um, but yeah, just shitty, shitty again. It seems like this is just continuing that trend of and I'm probably gonna say this a couple of times, that pandemic trend of during the pandemic, it was really cheap for this money. It was next to nothing, I should say, for these corporations to take out loans and get all this
Mhm.
money, and then when they, you know, like, I'll even use Netflix as an example. They took out all this money, and then now they're wondering why they wanted everybody to get back to work, and all these corporations were pushing for everybody to get back into the office and get back to work, and then they're wondering like, how come people not watching Netflix as much? Because they're not fucking home. You wanted them to get back to work, like, fuck's sake. Oh, yeah. And this is going to be a continuing trend. Through the rest of this podcast, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got a few decent stories at the end, but yeah, we'll just roll into the next one too. Comes from Video Games Chronicle. Creative Assembly, who's underneath Sega, confirms plan to make redundancies after Hyenas is canceled. So they canceled their, I think it was an extraction shooter. All they're saying is a multiplayer shooter. And they're laying off people.
Mm.
Um, what do you think of I'll let you take this one for a little bit first.
Okay. Uh, I mean, it just sounds like they're planning on this game getting nowhere. And I'll be honest, I haven't even heard of it. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, not a big first person shooter guy anymore. Not a big multiplayer first person shooter,
No, I
but
don't
it's
play them.
really sad that we're at this point to where these companies can't even prove themselves before layoffs hit. Um,
Yeah.
I think what happened was I want to say, let me read here. Yeah, Bungie came in. Because
Okay.
Bungie's now on like a consulting role under Sony,
Mhm.
and this was supposed to also come out on PlayStation, with Sega publishing it. And
Doesn't even look that good.
basically, it looks like from what this article is alluding to is like Bungie said, "Nah, this looks like trash." And instead of giving them a chance to fix it, they were just like, "We're canceling it and canning a bunch of people."
Honestly, it kinda does look like trash. I'm watching gameplay video right now, and it's I wouldn't play it, to
Yeah.
be honest.
It it sucks though still that like
Yeah, it
you couldn't even
sucks.
get this
Like,
project out the door before facing, like I said, facing major layoffs.
I'm talking shit about it, and I'm saying that it looks like trash, but I'm not saying like, there's something here.
Right.
Wait. There's something here. I just think it needs to be polished. Like, it could be something. It's very interesting. I think the downside is I'm jaded by FPSs because it's so overdone at this point.
It is.
Um,
100%.
it looks like yeah, it kinda looks like an extraction shooter, some heist mechanics. There's some goofy space mechanics with some, like each character has, it's like a character shooter at the same time, so you have, like, Overwatch powers with it too. It could be something, it could easily be something. It's just it doesn't there's a certain amount of polish I'm not seeing,
Right. Um
and yeah.
Yep. Continuing with that trend, this next one also comes from Video Games Chronicle. Team 17 is cutting jobs and its CEO is stepping down. At least their CEO here is taking some fucking responsibility and stepping
Good.
down
I'll
with
give it to 'em.
everybody. I will give them that. If you don't know who Team 17 is, they're the team behind Worms, Overcooked, Moving Out, etc. Um,
Damn, I
yeah,
wanted a
dude,
new Worms game.
I wanted another Moving Out. So that sucks. And like I said, the report also says that Michael Pattinson is set to step down as CEO of Team 17's publishing arm, a role he took on October 2021. Um, Earlier this year, it was already confirmed that Debbie Bestwick, the CEO of Team 17 Group, was also planning to step down, a move expected to take place on January 1st of 2024.
Okay.
So
I mean, what were they making, right? Or were they in the process of making anything?
Let's see. No, no, but
No,
this article is just
no.
talking about how this is kind of following suit with other studios because you had CD Projekt Red that laid off about 10% of their staff in July. Um, Earlier this year, Microsoft confirmed plans to lay off approximately 10,000 employees, including some at Xbox and Bethesda. Layoffs have recently been
Oh,
occurring at a number of other companies, including Unity, Riot, Blizzard, yada yada yada.
their next game was Headbanger.
Oh, okay,
It's that pigeon one with the music where they just like bang.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then last layoff story. Um, I'm not gonna say it gets happier from here, but
No, not really.
um, this comes from Kotaku. Last of Us Studio Naughty Dog is cutting developers. And it looks like if I scroll down farther in this article, according to a report of Bloomberg, that Last of Us multiplayer game now has been
Mhm.
pretty much shelved. They are not fully canceling it, but they it looks like another case of yep, it looks like another case of Bungie coming in, taking a look at it, and being like, nah. Uh,
I mean,
and
can I speak freely?
absolutely,
Who who asked? Who asked for a Last of Us multiplayer spinoff? Like,
I'll be
are we
real with
talking
you. The Last of Us One multiplayer mode in it was actually pretty cool.
like see, that's one thing. I'm like, are we thinking co-op where like you and another person work together in like a story mode kind of fashion? Or are
In
we
one, it
talking
was
just
competitive. It was like team based.
see that's what I'm there's too much of it. There's too much of it. And
It's very saturated. Yeah.
Last of Us to me is a very story driven game.
Hmm.
And I don't think it sucks that it got shelved and it sucks that everyone that worked on it on this game, and it could have been passion projects for a few people, um, is now being shelved, and they're having to move on. Or as this says, they're getting cut because they're contracted. But yeah, I don't need a Last of Us multiplayer, to be honest.
What really pisses me off is because they were they were contracted workers, not full-time employees, even though we're gonna
Yeah,
work them like full-time employees.
yeah, no,
What
this,
really pissed me off is sources tell Kotaku that no severance is being offered. No
yeah,
sort of
that's
severance pay.
garbage.
That's fucking
That's
garbage.
yeah,
That is real shitty. Especially when you have all of that Last of Us money TV show money
hmm
rolling in now. Um, that sucks.
yeah,
Um, yeah, really sucks.
can, yeah.
Nope, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say they even had like a because at Universal every year they do a Halloween Horror Nights. They had an entire exhibit based off of The Last of Us.
Yeah,
Like it's a big name.
yeah.
I don't. I don't.
I don't get it.
I'm tired of bitching about layoffs and contracted workers getting cut. I
You
just
want
like people need to work, and I'm so sick of this being the same talk every month or two. Because like right now, and I'm going to go off a little bit.
go
Like
for it.
right now, there are so many industries that are on strike right now, or like are about to. Like nurses are on strike, UAW's on strike, actors are still on strike. They're about to go on a second strike against video game developers. Like it is. Why haven't we grown with the times and made it to where we all could live financially stable? It is ooh, it makes me so angry.
In the
Like,
richest country in the world, mind you.
no, 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 no. I don't I'm tired of using that title for America. My favorite one that I saw was that we are a third world country with a Gucci belt.
Yeah, I would agree
And
with that.
that is where we're at.
Yeah, it's real unfortunate. Um,
All right, I'm done. I'm done going up.
I hear you. Well, only good news from here, right?
I think this is pretty funny. I haven't looked this up. I'm waiting to hear from it.
Spoiler alert, it's not good news. Um, let me actually click out of this article because my camera decided to fuck up again. This comes from Ars Technica. Former Ubisoft executives reportedly arrested over sexual assault allegations. Of course.
Mm,
According to a report from France's Liberation newspaper, as translated by GamesIndustry.biz, this week's arrest by the Bob. I'm not even going to try to say that. Public prosecutor's office include Ubisoft's former chief executive officer, looks like Sergei Haskoe, and ex VP editorial and creative services Tommy Francois.
mhm.
So yeah, it looks like
Whoa, 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 whoa.
it was a year after those companies have left. A year after they left, basically, um, they got hit with these, but now they're actually arrested.
Are they running? Were they running?
I have no
Because
idea.
this is shortly after Me Too, where they did they run in fear of getting Me Too'd and try to evade their shitty past?
I was actually wondering that. I was thinking, like, is that why they just like quickly like left Ubisoft and then tried to like
Yeah.
right. I was thinking the exact same thing. Um,
A 2020 internal Ubisoft survey revealed that 25% of employees experience workplace misconduct. Holy shit.
yep, yep. Um, like I said, it
Jeez.
wasn't good news from here. Um, how about
Oh my
just
god, they I'm sorry.
nope,
Amidst the personal stories, employees also allege that Ubisoft knew about and in some cases protected these men
yep,
accused of misconduct because of their high profile status within the company or personal connection to Ubisoft CEO. Jesus fucking
yep. Um,
men, keep your hands to yourself.
yeah. Just how about this? Be a decent fucking human being.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
it's really not that hard. Uh,
Oh
or at least I don't think it's very hard. You
no,
don't think it's very hard.
No,
Um, there's nothing else to say. I mean,
no,
there really isn't. Um, okay,
man, we're going off on today. We need to keep moving.
I know. I think I've hit the backtrack button so many times. I can make so many TikToks out of all these rants. Um, okay, so I think we're out of most of the bad news. There's one more small dumb news story, but I mean,
Mm.
this next one doesn't surprise me with what we've been talking about. This comes from Kotaku. Sony deletes mentions of troubled Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 PS5 remake and hides trailer. A
Mm.
teaser for the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake coming at PS5 nearly stole the show at Sony. Blah 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 blah. They're talking about 2021. Um, Word that a teaser trailer had been removed from PlayStation's channel first began to spread on September 28th on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit. Twitter user Crusader3456 later shared a thread showing that Sony's tweets about the teaser from the original 2021 PlayStation Showcase had also been deleted. The official mention left. Appears to be a single tweet promoting multiple games from the live stream. It's possible that the highly anticipated KOTOR remake is still alive and that this is just some weirdness on the part of Sony's social media department. It also might be the case that the project, which is debuted as a PS5 exclusive, has all been canceled amid to ongoing development issues and massive budget cuts at the parent company, Embracer. Um, I'm sorry, I said Knights of the Old Republic 2. This is the Knights of the Old Republic actual remake, not
Mm.
remaster. This is actual the full
Mhm.
blown remake of the original Knights of the Old Republic. Um, so more fallout from the Embracer BS. Speaking of Epic
Mhm.
and everything else, um, yeah, I. What do you think of you know?
I mean, partially, I think it could be a embracer bullshit. Uh, I wanna give them the benefit of the doubt only because there is a a fervorous, fan base for KOTOR games or KOTOR.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, I I can see them going back to the drawing board for this, and maybe reworking most of it, and that's why they deleted it.
Hmm.
But I think a good chunk of it is probably embraced.
Yeah, I could definitely see Sony being like, kind of seeing the writing on the walls a little bit about how
Mhm.
every company, including Epic underneath Embracer, which is the biggest company underneath Embracer, arguably, wasn't
Mhm.
even safe from Embracer messing up.
No.
So it is what it is. I feel like it's Sony trying to, especially after we just reported on, Naughty Dog, one of Sony's biggest studios finally getting hit
Yeah.
with layoffs. I mean, let's be real, they are probably one of Sony's biggest studios, if not the biggest.
I would say as of right now, them and probably Insomniac are probably the 2 biggest.
Two biggest. Yeah. That they're just trying to like wash their hands and distance themselves as much as they can from this
Mhm.
until whatever shakes out, shakes out.
It might
That's my
not
take.
actually be kinda like now that you're saying that, it might not be canceled, it might just be, like, shelved for the time being.
Yeah. And it might not even be canceled or shelved. It might just be
No.
Sony's not gonna promote it right now because they're so unsure about it.
Yeah.
Um Next one also comes from Video Games Chronicle. You're gonna love this. Peter Molyneux's
Mhm.
blockchain business sim releases next month. Um, it's claimed the game will be an unforgettable business adventure. Legacy is described as a highly anticipated Web3 business simulation game based on blockchain chain technology. According to the blockchain game publisher Gala Games, ownership and creativity take center stage, and you get the chance to build and manage your business on your very own land. Players will own
The
pieces of land as well as legacy deed keys that correspond to how rare the land is. Deed keys allow the land owning player to empower partners to win real rewards, Gala Games claims.
this looks like a Kroger commercial.
It looks bad.
It has the same art style and animation as the Kroger.
How far has Peter Molyneux fallen? Like, I'm pretty sure wasn't Peter Molyneux the one who was originally behind Fable? I think so.
Wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure he's the one who came up with the original idea for Fable.
Yep. Fable.
Yep. And now he is. I'm gonna say it again. How the fuck in the year of our Lord 2023 are people still thinking that blockchain games are a good idea? Didn't we
I
bully enough people on Twitter to say that this was a bad idea? That NFTs
funniest
and
thing to me
blockchain and this bullshit is a bad idea?
the funniest thing to me is that I think it was literally like maybe last week or something. I had saw something that uh the Bitcoin thing is dying.
Yeah,
It
it's
is on
crashing
a
hard.
continuous downturn and it's not going up at all.
Yeah. Who could have foreseen this?
Mhm.
I was
Do you
calling
think
that for fucking months,
do you
years.
think Peter Molyneux thinks he's gonna bring it back? Think he has like a savior complex and he thinks that this game is gonna bring blockchain back
Either
with
that
Bitcoin?
or a lot of these developers are like too far down the pipe of like doing it already, so they're just trying to finish it and get it out the door and then move on to the next thing. Because I
Uh
believe that he said he was going to use this game to fund his next project, like profits from this game to fund his next project.
they're probably trying to put it out in fear of retaliation too, because I just see a report from December 16th of 2021. Uh, Players invested $54 million in,
Yeah. Yep.
and so he's probably just trying to release it so he doesn't, get sued.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, just if it's this far down the pipe, just trying to get it out the door, promote it because you're required to promote it, and then
Mhm.
hopefully move on.
Move on. Yeah.
Um, last three stories here. We're doing a little shorter episode this week for you guys.
Mhm.
We did the 5-star runtime last week. We're gonna do with a 4-star runtime this week. Um, this one also comes from Video Games Chronicle. Nintendo's president says it will continue to support the Switch next year. The company president says games are planned for fiscal year ending in March of 2025. Um, I think that's cool. That doesn't surprise me too much. What do you think?
um, I mean, doesn't surprise me. Not at all.
Nintendo definitely has a reputation of supporting older hardware longer than the other two big console manufacturers.
Mhm.
Um, and they probably don't see they're a little bit smarter and Nintendo's a little bit more of a conservative company. They are probably anticipating that not everybody that has a Switch is going to jump to the next thing right away.
Probably
Um,
not. No.
Most Nintendo fans don't. I'll be honest, if a PS5 Pro comes out, I probably won't get a Switch 2 right away because I'll be getting the fucking PS5 Pro. Um,
It depends on game launches. If it comes out, if like Pokemon, I don't want. Never mind. It's probably a guarantee I'm going to get the Switch.
I will get it eventually. I just if the PS5 Pro comes out first, priorities for me anyway.
If the timelines still follow the same way going forward for Pokemon, there's a main title Pokemon game coming out next year.
Oh, okay.
But, well, it's gonna be
Speculation.
probably it's probably gonna be a remake of Black and White. But usually the process is it's a 3-year turnaround for main series generation games.
Mhm.
Um, and in between that, we get um like last year was Scarlet and Violet. Next year is probably or this year's the DLC. Next year is probably going to be um Black and White remix. Potentially the year after that, we might get like a Let's Go series of the Johto games like Gold and
Ooh,
Silver.
yeah. I like
And
that.
then after that, we're gonna get Gen 2.
I'm if they do a black and white remake, I might have to check those out because you've hyped those up to me a lot and I
Mhm.
did not play those. So
Yeah,
I would
I'm
definitely
for
like to
sure
check
getting
that.
it.
Yeah. Which one would you recommend if you could only get one, black or white?
It all depends. I base it off of like what legendary you like the most. I played Pokemon Black, so I got Reshiram as my legendary. There with Black and White, there are a few differences.
Mhm.
Um, like there's a post game city called Black City or White Forest. It's basically like where you have like your battle tower stuff. It's like basically
Right.
just like high level battles. Um, and Opalid City looked a little different. Where in one and see that's where a lot of speculation's coming from is because in I think it was Black 2 or no Black in Pokemon Black it had a futuristic look to it, but then in White it was a little older. It was like it was a past version of
Okay.
itself. So
Nice.
yeah.
And with that kind of piggybacking on that, if they are going to continue to support the Switch, Polygon has reported
Mhm.
this. Nintendo will turn off all online play for the 3DS and Wii U next year, except for Pokemon Bank,
Yep.
because that's not run by them,
No.
directly.
You gotta download it first
Yes.
before that day. You
Mhm.
gotta download it now or else you will not be able to. But after that, you can still use it. Basically, all it is just if you have any of the older games, you can just transfer them up to Scarlet and Violet and all that stuff.
It looks like it's going to end early April 2024. That
Yep.
doesn't really surprise me. If they're going to continue to support the Switch, they're going to need to free up the team, the Switch 1, we'll call it.
Mhm.
They're going to need to free up those people to continue to support the Switch. There's no point in having them working on a Wii U and a 3DS when, they already shut the stores down. That was their
Mhm.
first big thing. The next thing is, you do really want people keeping up with those servers. How many people really play? I can see 3DS maybe being a problem, but how many people really play their Wii U's online that much? Um,
Not that much.
yeah.
No.
I could see 3DS maybe, but again, most people that I know that I had 3DSs have Switches now. So,
Mhm.
um, so this last one is funny. Comes from Kotaku. Baldur's Gate 3 devs give Sphinx cat fur, immediately apologize, and shave it again. So,
That's
to have context, when Baldur's Gate 3 first launched, this cat uh would spawn in without hair when it was originally supposed to have hair. So people thought it
mhm.
was a Sphinx cat. So when they fixed it, the fur came back and everyone was like, "No, take the fur off again." And we're like, "You want this bug in here? Okay." So they
Yeah,
immediately
you gotta keep the Nakey. Keep the
Ye
Nakey.
I didn't really have much to say about that one. I just thought it was kind of funny that, like, it was a
Oh my god.
case. Oh, it was an ugly looking cat too.
No,
It's been
shut up. It is adorable.
no, I just mean the rendered version of the cat is like,
Oh,
"Oh,
okay,
yikes."
okay.
I'm not saying Sphinx cats aren't cute.
I
Um,
would I would still have this. It is
yeah,
a
it's hilarious. I
yeah,
just wanted to throw that in. I threw that in because, we had enough depressing stories on this podcast. We needed
a
to
nice little
end
fun thing at
we
the
needed to
end.
end with a little bit of humor. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and we actually got an email this week in from Chelsea, who happens to be my sister. She wanted to
Woo woo.
pose this question to us. Um, and the question is, what are your top 5 video games / video game franchises? I
Ooh.
will pose that to you first because I have to think of my number 5.
Okay. So, I'm trying to, like, to speed this through. Pokemon, been there for me since day 1. Kingdom Hearts for sure. Um, are we talking all time? Like, can they be dead?
They could be dead franchises.
They can be dead franchises.
Yeah.
Um, franchises that still hold up to me today are the Jack and Daxter series.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
That's worth it.
I think Ratchet and Clank is an amazing series. It holds up to this very day. Um, I think what they do now is phenomenal, and it's still going places. And I would say last one. mm, I can't think of my fifth one.
I'm having a hard time coming up with a fifth one too. Not even gonna lie.
Maybe
Um,
I'll say Legend of Zelda.
Okay. I was almost gonna throw in Legend of Zelda for me too for as the fifth
Yeah.
one because I do like the 2D Legend of Zelda. So I will just
Hmm.
say to save time here, Legend of Zelda at number 5, Persona at number 4,
Uh-huh.
Kingdom Hearts at number 3. Yeah, I'm ranking them. Kingdom Hearts at number
I
3.
think we know number one though.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy at number 2, which
Uh-huh,
used to be my
uh-huh,
number 1
uh-huh, uh-huh,
until
uh-huh.
I played Nier,
Yep, there
and
it is.
now it's Draken Nier.
Yeah,
I think I've
yeah,
said
yeah.
it multiple times on this podcast. Everyone knew where it was
Look
going.
looking at your game right here, as you were saying, it's just sitting next to me.
Yeah, yeah. You gonna start that? You gonna start that, buddy?
Yeah, dude,
Take your
I
time.
have s
I
I
know.
have so much going on right now.
No, I understand. That's why I let you borrow it, and I said I've played this so many times that I
Mhm,
don't need to play it again. I mean, I'd love to play it again. You told me to play it again, I'll play it again. But,
yeah. Oh, wait, can I adjust my answers?
yeah,
I got Legend of Zelda, add God of War.
okay,
Yep.
okay. I hit the backtrack button twice just to catch it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, those are good, but yeah, once I discovered that Nier Automata wasn't just a spin-off of a game, it was a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off, and then Yoko Taro was like, "None of these are spin-offs,
Mm,
they're all sequels." It broke my brain,
mhm.
and I love timeline shenanigans because of that, even though the Mortal Kombat ones that's why the Mortal Kombat one didn't impress me is because it wasn't a Yoko Taro timeline shenanigan.
Jesus Christ. Alright,
Um,
we're moving on.
um And with that, that's the podcast. Like I said, a little short one
Yeah.
this week. I got some family stuff going on, so I wanted to just bang one out real quick.
Mhm.
Dustin, are you gonna be getting into anything? I know we've been both struggling to get some streams in, but you got a wedding going on, so
Yeah, I want
um,
to. I say tentatively, I want to stream this week.
okay.
Um,
If you were to
yeah.
stream something this week, what do you think you're gonna stream?
Only because I wanna talk about it more, and I wanna redo it because I don't think I did it justice the first time. I wanna play Pokemon Infinite Fusion.
Mhm.
I'll probably touch on Sea of Stars. Maybe play some 30 double X. Maybe do some Armored Core.
Okay. My plan is to just keep chipping away at Final Fantasy. That's been really fun. I've been having a lot of fun with those streams. Just messing around with them. Hopefully finish
Mhm.
Final Fantasy 1 this week and then move on to 2. Um, and then I don't know if I'll play any more Mortal Kombat on stream. Maybe I'll play the Conquest mode. I think that's what it's called. On stream.
You
That
guys,
might be
you
fun
guys
to
should
check
do
out.
you should do a stream where you and Shawna beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, we did. I'll text you off mic what we did this weekend. Um,
Okay. Okay.
um, but yeah, we thought about that. I have to get a different microphone because this microphone cuts out way too much background noise. So if I go like this,
Mhm.
so you can't hear me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's really hard to set like one microphone in between us to have it. Like I do have a microphone that can do it, but I'd have to go dig it out of storage at my grandma's
Mhm.
house, which I might do. We might. Um, but you can follow us everything we do on Twitter at
Mhm.
underscore Black Box Signal. You can also catch us on Blue Sky at blackboxsignal.bsky.social, something like that. You just look for us. It's somewhere. Sounds about right. Their tag thing is weird. You can also follow us on YouTube at underscore Black Box Signal.
Mhm.
And where can they find you, Dustin?
You can find me on Twitter at DarPrimeVOTTV and Twitch at just Darius Prime.
You can follow me on Twitch at Chasing Chase TV. Follow me on Twitter at chasing_chase, and you can follow me on Blue Sky at Chasing Chase as well. Appreciate you all hanging out. Know it's a little bit of a
Yeah.
weird time. And as always, stay safe, comrades.
Bye, guys.